The Great Ocean Road in Victoria is one of the most famous stretches of tarmac in Australia, if not the world. The winding adventure journeys past pristine beaches and through lush rainforests, taking in seaside townships, magnificent lookouts and numerous conservation areas. One such conservation project that tourists can visit is here at Middle Island.
Middle Island is part of the coastal reserve, surrounded by the Marai Marine Sanctuary, and is a breeding colony for the little penguins.
Yeah, now tell me about the penguins. I understand they became quite endangered.
Well, the little penguin population was suffering from fox predation, human trampling, things like that. Free-range chicken farmers suggested the idea of using maremas. This method's been used in agriculture for years, and we're trying to see could we use it in conservation management.
It's a great idea. I mean, what about tourists coming now? Can they go to the island?
Yeah, we have a series of free tours that tourists can come along and come out with people like myself and other people involved in the project to learn about little penguins, the maremas, the island, the marine sanctuary, a whole range of things happening in this coastal reserve.
This island project just goes to show Australia's passion for wildlife conservation, and with these girls around, the penguin colony will grow and flourish for future visitors to enjoy. Isn't that right?
Conservation and sustainability is also the thinking behind Valley Guesthouse, a self-sufficient lodge and restaurant nestled in the hills near Cape Otway.
Martin and I bought Valley Guesthouse 5 years ago, and we just thought that it was an area of Victoria that hadn't really been seen enough by enough people. We just thought it was stunningly beautiful, and so we moved from London to here with a dream of building it into a sustainable restaurant and guest house. We simply go to our own garden, collect what we're going to eat for the evening, bring it in and make it into delicious food that's grown on our own land. And so we're in this sort of lovely sort of eco-world of our own here.
So basically, if you're a fan of locally sourced produce, served up in surroundings with a touch of old world charm, then this is the place for you. And so to bed, ready for an early start and the chance to meet some of the elusive locals. The platypus is one of Australia's most unusual indigenous creatures, and fossils of their direct ancestors date back more than 100 million years.
Nice to be able to work with something like this, you know, an animal that's very unusual because they're so difficult to find in the wild.
Of course.
So,
Tell me about these tree trunks. They're so eerie looking.
we get a lot of these tree trunks here because it was a forest. It's only 1952. Just a bit further down there was a landslide, and the lake then formed where the landslide happened and just filled in behind it. It looks a bit like one up around 11 o'clock direction, just up this way. Yes, there's a little patch of bubbles forming, a bit further to the left now.
There he is. They are very small, aren't they?
Only 40 or 50 centimetres long.
We did see one or two. I hope the camera got them because they are quite quick, aren't they, Bruce?
They're a very elusive little thing, aren't they?
What better way to round off a platypus tour with a bit of tea and a bit of cake.
Australia has an abundance of wildlife in its lakes, rivers and seas, but to observe some creatures, well, a canoe just doesn't quite cut it.
Oh, hello,
Hi.
Gemma. Hi, how are you?
I'm very excited. Tell me, what are we going to see?
Well, we're going to see blue whales, Gemma.
So how big do they actually get?
We're talking up to about the size of two large coaches put end to end.
Oh my word.
Yeah, maybe up to 200 tonnes, possibly up to 30 metres in length. So this is the largest creature that's ever lived on the planet. Wow. They are larger than any dinosaur that's ever lived.
Well, I'm ready to be overwhelmed. Should we go?
We should. Let's do it.
There are very few places in the world that you can observe blue whales, and a helicopter is the most effective way of doing this without disturbing them. The krill-rich waters here attract these amazing beasts, and although the global population currently stands at less than 10,000, sightings during the season are numerous.
I'm looking out for breaks in the sea to try and spot them. I think there's a break there. Is that one there, perhaps? It's very difficult, of course, in the water to tell the size of them, but I think we just did see a dolphin as well, and that was a tiny speck. So to give it some perspective, I mean, they are just enormous. Wow.
People are generally overwhelmed by the experience. They can just see so much of what's going on, and they have a true appreciation of this magnificent creature.
Back down to earth though now, and it's on with the hiking boots, sunscreen and backpack as it's time to explore the Great Ocean Walk.
It starts at Apollo Bay, which is around a 2.5-hour drive from the heart of Melbourne. Not only is it a must-see for lovers of dramatic views and wild seascapes, but it's also home to some of Victoria's most interesting wildlife. It's just all part of the nature of the Great Ocean Road.
With around 100 kilometres of trails to explore, a guided tour can really enhance the experience as you learn about the geology, wildlife and even a bit of history.
So this is the famous Lockhart Gorge?
Yes, this is the famous Lockhart Gorge, the site of the Lockhart disaster in 1878.
Group tours are also available, this one from Both Feet Walking Tours, offering a fully supported experience with lunch along the way, allowing you to sit back and take in those stunning views.
Both Feet is based on the walk here. We have our own lodge. We're a fully inclusive package that includes a massage in your walking tour, and the lovely lunches and spreads that we do in general make it a more luxurious trip.
And what better after a satisfying day's hike than a relaxing foot soak? For many, the highlight of the Great Ocean Road are these majestic rocky outcrops, better known as the 12 Apostles, and by far the most dramatic way to see them is from the air.
Now this may seem a little extravagant, but actually it's worth every penny, because not only do you get to experience flying in a helicopter, which is a thrill in itself, but you also get to see this staggering coastline and of course the 12 Apostles.
There are many ways to explore this famous stretch of coastline, but whether you choose car, helicopter, coach or good old-fashioned walking boots, what unfolds in front of you is a tale of history, geology and natural wonder, so rich and diverse that you genuinely feel like you're getting a little bit back to nature.